Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Please excuse my blocked nose because you know it is that season now where everyone seems to be getting a cold. Hey, can you guess what I am going to be creating? Okay, you guessed it. So I'm going to be doing a Victoria's Secret angel makeup look, and I have to say, regardless of how long Victoria's Secret has been around for, this look is timeless. It's so beautiful, and I just feel like it will never ever be outdated because you can't fault a look that is just so pretty. If it's not broken, don't fix it. That is my theory. So I'm going to be showing you with some luxury products and some drugstore products how to create this beautiful angelic, just ethereal look. Let's get stuck into it. I've got my turmeric latte, so get your hot drink, guys, and let's sit and get cozy because it really is cozy season now. I mean, the tan has faded quick. We always know though, the sun is always above the clouds. So let's just rise above. I'm gonna actually start with my eyebrows. And I recently went to a Suqqu event and tried out some of their new bits. So one of them being this brow gel. It's actually amazing. I've been using it every day. It's not, I don't like something that's too strong for my brows. So this is perfect because basically it has like a tint of brown on it. So it's a clear, but with a slight brown tint. So you still get a bit of color, but without it looking too strong. So I'm literally just gonna go against the brow hair just to really coat all. Oh, so there you go. I know it's a bit messy, but you can actually see that it does have that color. It'll wipe off easily though. I have already moisturized because I wanted that to sink into my skin. But yeah, and then I just gently brush them, not up, more kind of to the side, because we want to keep this very soft. If you had to choose between like objects, you'd feel like this was more of a rounded look rather than a rectangular look. I know that's a really weird way of putting it, but that's the softness of this look versus the harshness of maybe something slightly more angular. And there we go. Like literally, that is what I would do to my brows. We're gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless. Definitely use this, considering you can't see the writing anymore. I'm not actually gonna put this everywhere. I'm gonna focus this just on my cheekbones, just to get that glow, a little bit on the nose, and literally that is it. And then I'm just gonna blend that out with my foundation brush as usual. I want this to just really like glow and look like skin. Can you see already? That just gives it this like iridescent skin-like glow, but obviously it's slightly pearlized as well, so just amps up that shine a little as a nice base. I love Flawless filter. My only thing is with it, I don't use it much because I do feel like as the day goes on, I look a little bit shiny. So yeah, I just have to like balance that a bit. For the base, I'm literally gonna go in with, and this is the Miracle Pure Skin Reset. It's a 2-in-1 serum foundation, and this is by Max Factor. It's stunning. The bronze with the pink is really complementary, and I feel like that's a real staple with the Victoria's Secret look. So it's got a nice pipette, so it's easy. Medium satin finish, and sometimes the pipettes I struggle with them, so I just roll it on. And shade wise, this is 80 to 85 medium. I'm just gonna come in close so you can see how this melts into the skin. So easy to use. And I'm using my brush, the base, just to really get that into the skin. I'm gonna put a little bit just on my eyelid, but being mindful of the brows. You can see how easy that blended, and also the fact that it really does give a skin-like feel again, but with evening out my skin tone, which is exactly what we want. This look in particular that you notice with Victoria's Secret models, it really isn't cakey. And you can see it's not a full coverage because you can still see the slight bit of rosiness come through from my cheeks, which I really like, because don't forget, we're going to be using concealer to cover these areas. So you never want to have like ultra full coverage, I don't feel, before applying your concealer, because once you apply the concealer, it then can look extremely, you know, full on. So you just want to have that nice balance. Medium coverage foundation with a medium coverage concealer is going to give you more than a full coverage. So yeah, that's just how I work out the maths in my head. I'm actually going to go in with my cream contour, and then I'll go in with cream blush. This is actually stunning. I've been using this the last week. I got it in a PR package from Milani, and it's their new cream bronzers. They also have cream blushes as well, which they send. I just really love easy products to use. So I literally get my brush, pop it onto the cream bronzer, and then melt it into the skin where I want that added bit of warmth. And remember, like I said, if this was a shape, we're gonna call it more round, which means we don't want sharp edges. So even with the contouring of this look, we wanna keep it very soft, barely detectable, and more seamless. There we go, you can barely see it, but what we're doing is we're just warming up the skin in that area. So we've almost created a C shape, but if you wanna create a bit more shape around the jawline, then just add a little bit just around there. So now instead of a C, you've created an E or a 3. And this color's really beautiful because it is just literally the perfect bronze. It's got the right amount of warmth in it. It's not actually cool because we want this to be more of a bronze look. And it melts beautifully, but without being too wet. That is something that I look for in cream products actually. I don't like when they feel sticky, and this doesn't feel sticky at all. It's very fluid in the way that it moves, yet it's a compact cream, so it's a lovely formula. Straight away, that's just added a completely different layer to the makeup, giving it dimension, some shape and warmth, which is what we want. I'm now going to go in with the Armani Luminous Silk, and this is the cheek tint. This is in the shade 62. Now, the reason why I'm going for something like this is because I want a blush that is more cool toned and nothing that's too peachy or warm. Because again, I feel like with the Victoria's Secret Glam, that pop of pink is really prominent, but it's definitely I feel on the cooler side, the more like dolly pink. These blushes, the way they blend so easily, you barely have to do anything with the Armani liquid blushes. They're honestly like a stunning, stunning formula. Really like these. I don't want to overwhelm you because honestly there is so many good products out there, but obviously we don't want them all and we can't have them all, and there's no point in having them all. But I will use what I love, and I can say everything I'm using, bar one thing which I will get onto just because I can't make a judgment on it yet, but I can imagine it's going to be amazing because I'm going to use it the first time here. This is what I'm talking about. So I've never actually used this concealer. It's the new MAC Studio Radiance 24-hour Luminous Lift Concealer. So there's a lot of claims there. 24-hour lifting, anti-crease. So that is a big claim, anti-crease. And I'm using the shade NC30. I actually like the applicator. It's quite a chubby one and I love that. So easy to apply. Again, I'm not using a concealer that is too bright. So I'm just gonna use Real Techniques multi-use sponge and powder puff. Been loving this. It's actually such a clever tool. And I haven't contoured the nose yet, we will get onto that. But again, I have used enough concealer here to take me to the end of the eye. I don't want to be applying loads of product there, because actually, this is something that I feel like people do, which makes a mistake. When you're applying loads of concealer here and you do have fine lines, which I do, then what you're ultimately doing is packing it on so it will show more, whereas I'm using the residue of what I've used here and gently patting it there. So actually you have less product, but you'll still get a nice amount of coverage and get that even tone that you want, because ultimately you just want to even out the tone, because your dark circles would be more prominent front facing. That is a little trick. Oh, it's very nice and glowy, isn't it? I don't really doubt MAC products. I worked with them for 6.5 years. So I am very familiar with them. Even if it's new, I get a good feel of the product. It almost feels like it's set actually by itself without looking wet, which I love. It's really nice. I like it. Now we're gonna go in with This Is New, guys. So I use Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I know that it is absolutely unbelievable. One of the best powders, still is, and you know, we love it. But they've just launched in the ultra blurring range. It's called Rose. So it's obviously got, it's still translucent, but it's got more of a pink undertone to it versus the more yellow pale tone. I am going to go in with their powder puff because it's a beautiful powder puff. I'm going to just set this under my eyes, because this is what I am going to use to brighten. I'm just going to put a little bit more just here. And I'm not contouring the cheek because I don't want this to look like a very sharp look. Okay, I'm actually going to go in with the powder now, all over my eyes, to just create a bit of a naturally light base, but also setting whatever was there. And this is just a really good way of multi-using your products. Love that. That's so subtle, but it actually makes such a difference. So that area just looks really, really clean now. I'm gonna use, this is such a stunning palette. This again is by Suqqu, and this is their Signature Eyes, and this is the palette shade 142. I'm gonna go in with the first color in the palette. It just has that like ethereal, angelic vibe. It's like a real nice shimmer. And I'm gonna pop that all over my lid with my finger, because it is so much easier to avoid fallout when you're using your finger with glittery products. And I'm gonna bring that quite high, and I'm just gonna repeat that on the other side. Oh, it's so nice. And again, just take it quite high. It's really nice just to build up right in the center. So like go over it just a little bit more, just in that center. It's beautiful, I love that. I do want to use more of a cooler tone. I'm going in with the brownie. It's like a mushroom brown. So I'm tapping off the excess because I don't want it to be falling out. And I'm going to really gently, in circular motions, just do a very, very soft transitional shade, just to add a little bit of depth. There we go. Literally don't need anything more than that. And they're honestly such smooth eyeshadows, so they go on seamlessly. If you felt how I was using my brush, you'd be like, am I even touching my eye? but I am. But I'm using feathery motions because we want it to look more airbrushed. So the lighter your hand is, the more airbrushed it will appear. And like we said, nothing sharp, nothing too edgy. So nice. How nice is that? Just that by itself. I would say that is it for the eyes. And also I have got lashes on, so I'm not going to need to apply like eyelashes or anything like that. But this is one of the most important parts. And I'm going in with the Cookie highlighter by Benefit. This is where we highlight the inner corners of the eyes, which is, I mean, staple Victoria's Secret look. So I'm just using my nose highlight brush because it's got a slight point to it. And again, I multi-use my brushes. You want this to look quite bright. So gently blend it out from the top. And then you also want to bring it underneath. There we go. So it really like shapes and brightens that eye. The nice thing about this highlighter by Benefit, it's really pearlized and has like the most incredible iridescence to it. So it gives that nice bright inner corner look, which is exactly what we want. So the one thing that I am going to contour that I want to look contoured will be my nose now, because we just want to give that definition in the center of the face. So I'm literally just going to go from my brow very gently, and I'm using the nose contour brush, and I'm going in with the same Milani cream bronzer that I used on the cheeks. And this is because I don't want to do anything cool, like I said, and I still want it to look relatively natural, so it all does blend in and look uniform. And I'm just doing that on the other side. So with nose contouring, remember, don't go from here and then go out like that, because you'll end up making your nose look bulkier. You want to go in and create a thin line in the center, giving that illusion of a very defined nose. So you can see that made a nice difference there. And we're going to go in with the same highlighter, which is Cookie, which is what I used for the inner corners of my eyes. And we're just going to take that down the center of the nose. And then on the tip. There we go. And you can see that really start to come together now. I'm going to use a bronzer now just to go around that cream contour, and I've chosen the Hourglass. This is the Radiant Ambient Light, because this bronzer really does give like a candle lit from within skin like look, and we really want that, especially for a Victoria's Secret makeup look. You just want that all to really look basically like you have been lit from within. I have to say, it's like the least patchy bronzer in the world. You could use this over any cream and it won't go patchy, which I find quite fascinating. There aren't many that do that. Look at that. Just seriously, just blends over that cream amazingly. I haven't even set that with a powder. This is what I'm using to set it, so. Lovely. I think that's starting to look really, really nice now. I'm gonna go in with the powder and just start to dust that off. I've just picked up a little bit more, and I'm just gonna go in now under the eyes and remove any excess. Around the eyebrows, if you feel like they look a bit shiny, just like gently pat that down. I'm gonna go in with a bit of highlighter now on my cheeks. I'm using my eyeshadow brush because I want this to look relatively prominent and just really isolate where I apply that highlight. And again, I'm going in with the cookie because we want it to all look uniform, and it is just honestly such an underrated highlighter. Like, it is beautiful, and it does really melt into the skin. It's not chunky. With this look, what I did notice was the blush. I know there's a real trend now where like blush really comes in here, but actually I looked at many images and I didn't notice that with this particular makeup. There was a slight flush, but it wasn't like a very obvious, like a sun-kissed look at all. This literally matches my robe, so we are on the same page. And this is also by Suqqu. This is in the shade, so it's Blush 102. I'm just going to pick up a bit of this powder blush and gently bring that onto the cheeks, just to give the pink that we've already put on a bit more vibrancy. And again, I've gone for more of like a dolly pink. And now, because I'm just bringing a bit more colour into the cheeks, and with the residue, I'm literally just going to sweep it gently so it looks very natural in that, on the inner part of the cheek. What's really nice is I've put the highlighter under, so then it will always pop through that pink, rather than putting the pink first and then putting the white over the top and it looking like it's washing that color out. That's another technique, guys, that I do on all my clients, and honestly it makes the blend look seamless rather than like patchy. Mascara, you know what I'm going on with, guys. If you have watched a few videos now, you know it's the Rare Beauty. And again, I'm not going to actually put the mascara all the way in now because I want the eyes to look more doll-like. So I am literally just going to put a bit of mascara on the outer corner of the lower lashes, just to frame the eyes slightly, but nothing too major. Now for the finisher, we're going to go in with Nude Style number 300 by Dior. These pencils are stunning. I did buy two, and out of the two I definitely prefer the Nude Style because it's slightly more brown, and this is what I feel like would look good with this look. And I'm not going to go too harsh with the line. I just want to keep it really soft, but making sure that we have that definition. You have to work with these so quick because they hold. Okay. It's just a stunning lip liner. I always colour the lip in slightly as well. Okay. And the lipstick that we're going to use to finish the look is by Fenty Beauty, and it's in Is It Fussy? And it's kind of like, again, like a muted soft pink. I'm just going to go in with the center. It has that moisture to it as well, so it gives a bit more of a glow. And you want to add a little bit of this highlight, just to, again, to make those lips look really nice and iridescent. You can see I've not done my lip liner where it looks really, really strong or defined. I always prefer my lip liner to kind of like have a bit more of definition, but what I noticed about this look was that that wasn't the case with the lips. They still looked like it blended nicely and didn't have any sharp edges. So this is the finished look, guys. What do you think? This is my take on Victoria's Secret makeup. I literally love this look. If I wanted to look like I was glammed every day, I think that this is the choice of makeup I would go for. Glowy, soft, it enhances all your features in the right way, and it definitely isn't harsh or too overpowering. You can see why on the runway it just photographs and looks sensational on every single model. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and as always I will link all the products below. Let me know what look you would like to see next. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate all your support. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and turn notifications on. Sending you loads of love. Mwah.